it kind of fills up the whole screen. So we're going to start with Group 2. Cider versus Dim, Cider versus Insomniac, and Dim versus Kalakis. We start with Cider versus Dim, which is a ZVT. Cider, of course. I believe we've cast them before. They are a Terran, and Dim is a player we have not seen yet, but they play Zerg. So replay is up. Alright, yep, okay, let me switch our stream. Okay, here we go. Game time. Cider versus Dim. In a ZVT, Zerg versus Terran, top versus bottom, left versus right, weird metal structure versus grassy plain. In the bottom left corner, we have, I just realized, do I have an overlay on? Okay, I do have the overlay on. I was fucking... Okay, the overlay is on. Let me get back into the game so we can... Okay. Yep, in the bottom right corner, representing the blue Terran squad, we have Cider. Against their opponent in the top right corner, it is the gray Zerg Brood, controlled by Mr. Dim. Of course, also, while you're watching the stream, one of the ways that you can help out CPL, help out me, help out just all sorts of StarCraft, is if you make clips of the hype moments on the stream, then it helps us, like, in the future, if somebody wants to come back and make, like, hype videos or highlight videos or can do all these sorts of things. It really helps having these moments sort of on tap. It makes the work like 10 times easier, having people like clip things. We've done a super cool job so far. I spent yesterday I went through all of our clips to see like what all was going on. We had 37 clips so far, so that is great. And again, you know, it just really helps out like the staff make hype videos. It helps out other people who want to make content from for the CPL, and you know, any kind of CPL content. It also kind of feeds back into getting that word out, and you know, getting people interested and like they know what the CPL is. And they know what StarCraft is, and they'll play StarCraft, and we'll fucking take the #1 spot on Twitch. Fuck yeah. Cider scouting with their SCV. Meanwhile, we do have a game going on. Cider scouting, it was a hatch first here from Mr. Dim. I would say, I think this was a 12 hatch because it's 12 hatch, 11 pool, 10 extractor. Meanwhile, Cider setting up their front wall here, which is something you can do. It's something that I feel like lower level players, this is something that's really easy to say, yeah, just do this, right? Because technically, you don't have to. Like, you can defend Zerg attacks building not this, and this kind of makes an awkward wall in for when you're trying to move out later. But at the lower levels, wow, this Marine is just going. He's just going. He is a little brave. I think Cider might have forgotten that they're playing Terran, and you can't just send a single Marine out. Like, if that Marine was a Zealot, he could come up. What the hell is going on here? There's a story behind. Oh, come on, come on. No, one more shot. Oh, and it gets away. It would have been 2 more shots because Zerg are broken and have regeneration. Get him, get him. The drone lives, and all these Zerglings will pop out. And like, yeah, if this was a Zealot, this is kind of like, okay, you can take some Zerglings. But this is a Marine, and Marines kind of suck by themselves. Oh, well, he does have a buddy, so I think Cider was maybe planning to do... Oh, and this is great. Dim has split off 2 Zerglings per Marine, and now the Marines are just kind of microing away from each other, and they really need to be clumped back up. I mean, this guy, he's doing his best. He's living, okay? Cider, meanwhile, getting their expansion up, so, you know, they are getting into that regular Terran play. The first Marine to die, but it was the second Marine out. This Marine, he's living, okay? He has only been hit 3 times. Oh no. Make it back to the base. You can do it. Meanwhile, the SCV's getting in for the scout. And he is going to see the lair. No Hydra Den. So this should be pretty regular Zerg versus Terran stuff. Because Zerg will just go for it. Okay, SCV died. Zerg will just... The Marine lived, by the way. The Zerg just going to be going into Spire and having a really standard ZVT. Alright. Yeah. This is like the fucking grizzled veteran Marine. He has a robot arm. He got back to base. They were like, we gotta cut the arm off. It's infected, and they give him a cool robot arm. One of his eyes is like a fucking like camera eye. All of his all his soldiers under him make up stories about how he like single-handedly killed the original hive colony of the Zerg. He's just a fucking badass. So Cider pushing here for the attack. No medics though, so I don't think he really can. He can threaten, like force Dim to make sunken colonies, but he can't actually like push, right? And with 2 sunken colonies on the way and a good amount of Zerglings, like they're just gonna have to retreat. See, this is why you have to bring one of these grizzled veterans, right? Because he knows when to retreat. If this was a new commander, he'd be like, "Nah, fight, we can take it." But once you get that experience, that skill in, you can go, "No, we can't take this fight, boys. Pull back. We'll get him another day." That's called maturity. Some of these green SCVs, these green Marines, these greens. They don't have that level of maturity. If that was all healthy Marines, they would have ran in and died. Cider, meanwhile, also not just going 1-1-1, so getting armory up. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'd like to see a Valkyrie. I mean, we have the starport and the control tower. 5 mutas on the way though. Missile turrets are up, so Cider's doing a great job of defending from the mutas. Has a lot of nice missile turret positions. Can maybe throw a second one. Fucking reading my mind, Cider. Okay, yeah, second missile turret going down right there. Just because, like, the cliff here is really awkward, and so having those 2 missile turrets is nice. Yeah, and so this armory is just about to finish up, and so I'm curious where the tech takes us. I would like to see a Valkyrie come out. Because if Dim like commits hard onto that Zerg air, Valkyries are pretty good. So Muta's coming out, +1 armor on the way. No kind of tech switch in the back pocket. Dim is just going to be going really hard. Ooh, that SCV is scouting the third and is gonna catch Dim sending their drone out to expand. Meanwhile, we have, like, you know, that whole group of mutas clumping up. 8 mutas so far, and there's the Valkyrie. So yeah, this is gonna be really cool. So just you can post the Valkyrie like over the mineral line here. The mutas don't really have a way to get in, so we have 1 Valkyrie coming up, and it really needs to come over here, but Cider doesn't know that the mutas are like out and they're over here yet. So they're coming. That is a lot of mutas. 3 hits to kill a missile turret. They're gonna dive on the thing. The Valkyrie needs to mobilize. The Marines need to mobilize. Where is Cider's army? So this is a lot of tech here. He's 31 SCV, so he does have an advantage here. The Marines are finally pulling back. I guess Cider just doesn't want to reveal the Valkyries just yet, because if the Zerg sees the Valkyries, they kind of are going to immediately switch off of this air tech, and they haven't done so yet. There was a building constructed here to block the hatchery. That's fun. So yes, Dim is still making like 5 mutas, and so I don't know. I mean, the mutas were pushed back. But that was like 9 mulas, because they could have killed all these Marines, right? Like, it's just that Dim didn't. do that, but they could have. And now the Hydra Den's on the way, so we should be seeing that Lurker transition pretty soon. And no Academy for Comsat stations either. So Cider's just kind of playing completely blind here, while Dim is just, you know, macroing hard, making sure their resources stay low. We have a pretty awful supply block here on both players. But again, Zerg being kind of even in supply with Terran is okay. Yeah, see, like, if those, like... Oh, and they're double producing Valkyries. What the hell? Yes! This is amazing. So, see, if Dim knew... Okay, see, now those 3 mutas, they know that the Valkyries are here, and they baited the Valkyries over, and now Dim is getting some serious damage done in the main. The Valkyries are completely out of position, and Valkyries are slow as shit. But the mutas are kind of trapped in the corner. The Marines are going to come up around the outside, and the Valkyries come in. The missiles go off. The mutas fly into a corner, so the camera can't see them. And, yeah, that was a lot of serious damage done. That mutaflock is, like, all dead or weakened. I think there were, like, 10 mutas there. And now the Valkyries are going to start roaming the map. They're going to be able to hit mutas. They're going to be able to take out Overlords. Just act kind of like Corsairs. Yeah, oh my god, dude. Is this like Cider's signature move as the Valkyries in this matchup? Because I am here for it. This is sick. Look how fast they melt Overlords. This is so good. Okay, but so here's the thing. Dim has to play this like and they're diving. Okay, all the mutas like get melted. But we did lose 2 Valkyries kind of for free there. And Cider doesn't really have like a backup plan. 1 more muta goes down. They're kind of going to post over the ridge here. And we're still just have that 2 Valk production. But the problem is if Dim just switches into Hydras now, like, what do the Valkyries do? I guess he just has to play this like PvZ. Whereas Valkyries have to constantly threaten killing every single Overlord that Dim has. And with the tanks coming up, I don't know, this is crazy. I'm kind of here for it, honestly. It really is like, it seems like it's abusing the fact that every Zerg goes muta first, right? And obviously if the Zerg builds like Scourge and stuff, Valkyries suck because, unlike Corsairs, I don't think there's ever... They're going battle cruisers. They're going... What is this? Sky Terran. Going straight into battle cruisers. Physics lab. We can see a Motto cannon. So, that's, I guess, the answer to the Hydras, is you just get these Valkyries out early. You limit your opponent's production. And then, like, you put on enough pressure so that when the battle cruiser switch comes, they don't have, like, the tech or the resources to get those defilers or... Well, really, yeah, Zerg needs defilers to deal with battle cruisers because BCs will one-shot Scourge. And so the trade for Scourge for BCs, once you get to a certain amount, is completely in the Terran's favor. But Dim going for the Greater Spire, so we might see Devourers come out. And Devourers could be the counter to this strategy, right? I mean, they have a splash damage. They basically give the acid spores give free damage to every muta hit. And so for anybody watching who's saying, what the fuck is a Devourer? What the fuck is an acid spore? Because you never see this, excuse my language, you never see this in like an actual game, right? Because this never comes up. But the Devourer is like a tier 3 Zerg air unit that the Mutalist can morph into. It has a single target attack. But then that attack does a splash of a debuff called Acid Spores that stacks infinitely, and every stack of Acid Spore on a unit makes them take 1 additional damage from anything. So if you have a battle cruiser with... It could be considered a tier 4, because you need the Greater Spire on top. That's fair. Its max stacks is 9. Damn, the Devourer sucks more than I thought. But, okay, so if you have a battle cruiser with 9 stacks of Acid Spores on it, then it takes plus 9 damage from every single attack. And that includes Mutalisk Splash, like the Mutalisk Bounce damage. So a Mutalisk Bounce, every single bounce has 9+ damage. Which is pretty good. So we see mutas, 5 mutas with a couple of Scourge coming out. Hydras are going to start roaming, and we see, yeah, Dib has kind of, yeah, switched into that ZP style of just bringing all your Overlords into the center of the map. Now that's the crazy thing about this strategy, right? Is we have Valks, but we also are getting this 2 Battlecruiser production, perhaps 3 Battlecruiser production. And again, like, because the Zerg has to put up this pressure, they get tanks. There's Marines on the high ground. Cider's able to comfortably take this 3rd. Now, I think the counter strategy to this is if you just go for, like, a Ling All-In or a Lurker Bust or something like that, your opponent is teching straight to Valkyries. Like, there's no way, right? Holy shit. Wait, why would you get Guardians? You know your opponent has Valkyries. There's nothing to support this. Oh, but the Hydras, the Valkyries are roaming, but there's battle cruisers, so if the battle cruisers come by. Also, I don't think Cider has researched fucking Yamato cannons yet. But how much damage can these 5 Guardians, like, theoretically? Oh, but the Hydra swarming in. This is crazy. Wait, does this work? No, there's tanks. Does this work? This doesn't work. Okay, so the BCs are taken out. They've taken out all the turrets. All the Hydras are dying because there's no Dark Swarm. And then the Valkyries are just retreating, and they're going to melt through the Guardians, right? Oh, wow. Valks actually do kill Scourge in time. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, now Guardians have a lot of, well, Guardians had a lot of shields. But so they do live a bit longer, and Cider with the fucking Sky Terran taking it on in TVZ. Well, that was a hype game. GG's. Let's get back to our splash screen here. Cider takes it with the 1-0. Cider 1-0's dim. That was a sick game. And I think this was how Cider's other games that we casted went as well. That kind of, like, at least I was gonna go back to ladder, but I can't miss this. You can't. We got wild ass games going on. So I think Cider just always does this TVZ. And you know what? We're gonna see, because our next game is gonna be another TVZ with Cider versus Insomniac. Once again on Eclipse, and once again a TVZ. Let's just hop right into it and see if we can understand a bit more about what makes these players tick. I should also probably open the game so that OBS recognizes that it's currently working. See, that's me with sleep. Simulcast fuck up my sleep schedule. We're here for it. Okay, in the top right corner, we have Insomniac as the best color teal as the hero Zerg player. Once again, our Zerg is on the top right position, sending that Overlord straight to the corner. This is not a 4-player map, but you know what? Sometimes players might sneak the command center over there, so we'll see if this pays off for them. It is Insomniac 487. And then bottom left corner, we have Cider once again playing the blue Terran, once again in the bottom left, and once again going to build their supply depot at their natural. Wait, is it Scimo rhymes with Gyno, or it's whatever you want it to be, honestly. The correct pronunciation of this username is an enigma. Heard it. Scimo, Scimo. Is it Scimo? Isn't it Scimo rhymes with Sino? Scimo. So, okay, it's Scimo, Scimo, Scimo. I've heard Scimo before. And I honestly, and I like Scimo because someone pointed out to me that they can call it that. I don't know what, but they were like, it makes them think of like schemotherapy, and that's funny to me. But the intended pronunciation was Scimo, like S-C-I, as in like science fiction, but, or like whatever, but I don't really give a shit, and honestly, hearing all the different ways people say it is fun for me. So, I don't fucking know. Say it, whatever you think it is. Let that be it for you. Cider finishing up their wall here, and it looks like Insomniac in a reversal is just going for the link flood, or you know, really fast lings, and this is kind of the problem with this build, right? Well, Cider actually, how does Cider know to get a bunker? How does Cider know this? What happened here? Oh, I guess maybe the scouting drone, right? Because like you see the drone and you're like, hold on, is there shenanigans going on? Whereas if the Zerg is going for like macro, they won't actually be getting the drone. Okay, but that's a lot of Zerglings. Hello, Phoenix. Hidden tech top left is a no-go here. Yeah, we have our scouting overlord here. Fucking cheesy ass Terran's going for. Oh my god, dude, I hate my auto mod. It's like, I don't even have it set to like the most restrictive setting. It just does this. Yeah, like the Twitch, it was like, hey, do you want to have this auto mod thing? I'm like, yeah, sure. I can't mind the chat. Okay, you got it. Thanks. I was like, I can't mind the chat constantly because fucking Brood War kills me. And then it's like, I was like, okay, sure. Only block like really awful shit. And then it's like, okay, do you want us to block loser? I'm like, what the fuck? We got 3 hatch going on here. And meanwhile in the chat, Nablime is going mad with power. And you know what? We allow it here. Shimmer is banned. Alright. Fuck, hold on. I'm supposed to cast the game, not fuck shit. Oh god. We have Zerglings, I think, and we have 3 hatcheries. We're mining gas because we don't have Zergling speed. Every time, oh god. Stop. Every time I interact with the chat, it's just like I know that like the CPL caster the CPL caster thing is like, hey, we upload these games to YouTube, so don't interact too much with the Twitch chat because then it gets really confusing and it feels weird. And so every time I do it, I just get the feeling that Sate Zero, I'm gonna wake up one morning and Sate Zero is gonna be at my front door and like issuing a cease and desist for CPL replays. I told you just put the chat on the cast. You know what? That might end up being our permanent solution. The funny thing is, it's my job to tell people that. RSL casts then. Well, RSL casts, they're done kind of on the down low. There is no rules with the RSL cast. Nothing wrong with some Twitch chat in the VODs. Okay, after this game, I'm gonna set the Twitch chat up in the VODs so that so then I don't look like a fucking maniac talking to no one on like the YouTube VODs. Dude, this Overlord is the MVP. All right. Sorry for that. What happened to all of Insomniac's Zerglings? Did they just try to bust this wall? Also, Cider doing it again. We got the 1-1-1, although they're getting tanks faster than earlier. And I think that's in response to how aggressive Insomniac has been off of this 2-base play, and they're also going straight to lurkers. And also this SCV, Cider, honest to God, kind of like just fucking, what is this? I don't know what, this is like, okay, I'm fucking, I'm so, I don't know how to describe this, right? Because I'm watching these replays, I'm like, okay, I understand these are from the lower level groups, right? Because the lower the groups are, the more like the lower level the players are, right? So like watching this, I'm like, okay, this is kind of a funky strategy. I can honestly be like, okay, this is like Cider is, I understand if he gets like tier 3, right? Because it's like, you know, these floating minerals here and there. There's a couple of explicit things, but at the same time, it's just like, there's a level of like mind games or some shit going on here where it's like, okay, you're getting your tech up, you're getting, oh, and you just have an SCV scouting your entire opponent. We unfortunately do not have an 8-hour stream ahead of us today, due to, and because we have a coach show match going on later today, over on the CPL main channel around 3:30 on Eastern Standard Time. So that's pretty good. We also have Wraiths coming out, which if your opponent is going all in on lurkers or going for a lurker bust, I'm not opposed to it. But you already have the tanks to stop the lurkers, right? Oh my god, Wraiths are so bad. They're so bad! Why? Okay. God, dude. So Insomniac, both players have like fucking amazing worker counts. Like they're getting it. And I think Cider, oh, they're going straight to battle cruisers, which is kind of the play, right? Like your opponent, you know your opponent's not going mutas. You know that, like, they're going for lurkers, so you don't really need to worry about their air superiority. And lurkers do take a while. You have tanks to defend like a lurker all-in. Just go battle cruisers. And they're doing that. The only problem is they only have 2 gas. And they only have 2 SCVs mining gas? I think. Oh, they only have 2 SCVs mining gas at their natural. That's... Okay, no, they think they finally moved some over? Please tell me they moved some over. They didn't move any over. We still only have 2 SCVs mining gas. Please put an SC. Thank God. Okay, he just moved 2 over to gas, which is a bit overkill, but better. But okay, so Zerga's going Spire. So what does Spire do for Zerg? Here comes the scouting Valk. Yeah, and so they're just combing for any stray overlords. Oh, and this base here, this is super good. However, the problem with this hidden base, right, is that, like, lurkers will not defend BCs from just flying across the map and turning this into a StarCraft 2 game. So the Valk scouts it. So Cider knows it's here, and I bet you as soon as, like, the BCs, like, this first pair of BCs come out, they're gonna fly right over here and start hitting this base. Insomniac, they're getting that Scourge, so they're going up for, like, to counter battle cruisers. This scout is Brunhilde. Alright, we got Brunhilde. The Blime in the chat, Redeem naming a unit. This Valkyrie is one of the MVPs from the last game, come to supervise the next Terran attack. Unfortunately, a little close, a little too on their own for these Scourge might ruin the stay. So the first battle cruiser is out, and again, like, I don't know, like, oh jeez, and Cider's just slowly getting forward, and again, Zerg needs defilers. to fight BCs. They need defilers, or they need devourers, right? And neither of those are really easy to get off of 2 bases, because you have to get to tier 3 or 4. You have to get like so many extra units to make it work. Oh no, Brunhilde going in for the attack, sending off the volleys. Brunhilde, unfortunately. God, Valkyrie missiles are very funny, but unfortunately, Brunhilde. Let's have a moment of silence for our brave Valk pilot from game 1. Buying enough time for the fucking Terran fleet. Yeah, see, now if we had 15 Valkyries, see, that's the problem, is she got too cocky. She needed to bring her whole squad with her, and Cider was like, no, we can only bring in 1 to this operation. She was the volunteer. Yeah, so Cider getting their 3rd base up. Insomniac already has like their 3rd base, but it's not really saturated yet. And I think really what it is that 3 bases is what allows Terran to get that constant battlecruiser production. Yeah, but ship weapons, let's see, what are our upgrades on these BCs? So we're getting ship weapons level 2. I mean, Insomniac's getting so many Zerglings. And they're just getting more Zerglings. They have Hive, and so here's the thing, right? Does like an insane wave of Zerglings also all this tank placement? Just really setting it up. Do these Zerglings not have speed? Okay, so he sees how many. What? Okay. Theoretically, if you build an infinite amount of Zerglings, there is an amount of Zerglings where you can kill all of the Terran base before the battlecruisers can kill all the Zerglings. Is Insomniac getting to that amount of Zerglings? So if Hydra's moving out to go fight the BCs, that's not going to work. The Hydras only have 1 armor. The Extractor's dead. I still have not seen Cider research Yamato cannon. Oh, no, never mind. I'm dumb. Alright, so need 2 Yamato to take it out. And there it goes. So this base is going to die. Zerglings are going in for the counterattack, but that is a lot of tanks. And the Hydras are going to get on top of the BCs. The BCs are going to fly out. Honestly, they could have fought these Hydras. And yeah, so the Zerglings just get melted because tanks are, they do 75 damage, reduced in half, is enough to one-shot Zerglings, so yeah. Oh, 1 Link does get in. The splash damage is going to kill this missile turret. So, you know. Yeah, so again, these BCs, they are just good enough to fight these Hydras. Again, the Zerglings are not enough to actually break any of this. Insomniac just throwing more and more units away, but with the reinforcing Hydras come up here, I would not be opposed to see like just fucking Yamato cannons thrown down. We are about to lose 1 BC, it goes down, but we have 4 kills, 5 kills, like so many kills, just murdering these and keeping the Zerg off from mining. And Insomniac, unfortunately, as their game was ending, their internet cut out and they weren't able to type in GG. The internet cut out right as they were about to hit enter to send GG. So we can't blame it on them. This was on their service provider. It's probably Time Warner, or no, it's probably Spectrum. You know, they do that. So Cider once again with the fucking Sky Terran. I think we have the new TVZ meta being established here in the CPL. Xfinity with that bad customer service. I don't even know. I just had to set up a movie with them, and it was garbage, dude. It cannot be worse. When we were setting up Spectrum for our place, our new place, I set it up. I called. It was super easy to set up, and then just randomly one day during my fucking like lunch break at work, I get a call, and it's like some like random number. And I was like, I don't know what this is, but I don't know. Let me answer just in case. And it was a Spectrum salesman. And they opened, was like, hi, I'm from Spectrum, just want to make sure that like everything with your account is set up. And I'm like, okay, yeah, cool, thanks. Here's what we want to set up with it. And then we get through that. And then they say, so what do you like to do? And I'm on the phone with this fucking Spectrum like salesperson asking me like personal details about my life. Being like, what kind of hobbies do you have? I'm like, what the? I don't want you to know that. I want you to give me internet. And they became they became the most passive aggressive person, because I was like, oh, you know, man, just like I don't want to tell them like anything. And they were like, well, you know, they word for word they said, well, you know, some people have hobbies and like things that they like to do. So what do you do for that, like hobbies and stuff? I'm like, what the fuck? Okay. Anyways, this was a StarCraft cast, I think it's supposed to be. Let's get our next game set up for Dim versus Kalakis. Dude, Sate Zero's gonna fucking... Okay, our next game is gonna be Dim versus Kalakis. I think this was a... What was this? I know Dim's a Zerg. Yeah, okay, Kalakis is a Protoss. And let me switch this over. Least named is Zergling Sublime, but I did not see... Oh, did you? I did not see this. Alright, the first Zergling out of this game, the first pair, is going to be Sublime 1 and Sublime 2. I did spend the points. Okay. Anyways, let me go back to our... Oh, that's the break. That's the break. Don't do that one. We're not on a break. Okay. I need to set up... Wait, hold on. Cancel? What is this? Oh, that's my documents. Hold on. Cancel. Wait, cancel. Stream. Stream my... Okay, wait, no, I remember I popped the chat out. Let me... Where is the... Okay, pop out. Okay, chat is popped out, and then we can do that. Oh, hold on, did it pick it up? No! Do not stream my trash. What is the title? Scimo mods? No, do not show. Window, Battle.net chats and groups, Brood War character error. What is the error? Oh, that's the... Okay. Nope, that's not it. I'll buy a second monitor. I have a second monitor. I do. The problem is I don't know how to use it well. You need one of those transparent chats from Streamlabs. I probably do. Don't worry, we got this shit. We're gonna figure. I'm doing something. What if I remove that? Okay, and then add window capture. Then capture chat. Crop the top 500. Crop the top 200. 150. 40. Okay. Crop bottom 50. Okay. We got it figured out. We did it. Someone join a voice call. Read chat out loud. Yes. I'll buy a second monitor for removal. Alright. Does that? I always knew a name would be on this big screen. Hi. Yes. We've done it. Yeah. Oh, okay. The audio don't switch. Who pinged me on Discord? Is this important? No, it's something else. Okay. Our last game of Group 2. We now have chat integration for the future YouTube video viewers. Yeah. And all of this is going to be included on the YouTube video because there's a game before it and a game after it. So good luck with that, Dada. Alt W, Alt U. In the top right corner, as the purple, pinkish, magenta Zerg, we have Mr. Dim. And in the bottom left corner, we have in the green Terran tribe, Kalakis. And again, with the people in the chat, I just want to send out a friendly reminder. Make sure that you're taking CPL clips of the stream, getting hype moments. It helps helps the casters out, it helps their streams out, it helps the CPL out, and it helps people who want to go back and make like content or hype videos or just look at like some of the best moments. Oh, we are on fast. Why did that happen? We were on fast speed. Okay. In the bottom left corner, we have Kalakis building the pylon in their main, so this is going to be a fast game. In the top right corner, you press D twice is what happened. In the top right corner, we have, wait, I already did that. But again, clip moments, it's good to have. We have a pylon on like 5, and this is weird. I don't know, the only 2-gate in-base style I know is if you're going really all in which case, I guess this would be really all in. But usually, if you're gonna 2-gate in main, you want to go 10-12 gate because that at least can transition into 10-10 or 10-12, and that can transition into a more macro game. This is an 8-gate. I hate to say it, but this is Kalakis, a very new player, so don't expect a solid plan here. Okay, and they're building like a Brood War AI. Yeah. So again, this is the unfortunate thing. Mr. Dim, from what we saw in our last game, it was kind of like, oh yeah, this player, like they've played before, they're just kind of in tier 3 because they're you know at that level. But Kalakis being a super new player, as we can see here, building 3 pylons before anything else. That's like we can look at this and we can be like, okay, that's why. They're probably gonna lose. Let's just be honest. But we love to see it. We love to see new players. I mean, look, they know how to build zealots, and honestly, I can't say shit because when I was, you know, new to the game and really bad, I would just start a game against the AI, save the replay, watch the replay, and copied what the AI does. Which is not what you should do ever at all. Which, speaking of Nablime 1 and 2 in the chat there. We should be seeing them come out. They all popped at the same time. So, really, we have Nablime 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to have to keep track of these Zerglings. And now I've already lost track of which Zergling is which. So Nablime, you got 4 units for the, or somebody got 4 units for the price of 1. And that is 4 Zerglings, all named, and they're going to be fighting 1 Zealot. Yeah, this looks like Kalakis was copying an AI build. Which, you know what? It helps kind of like... it does kind of help because you learn sort of some of the basics, but there is also that next step. Oh, thank God I had those 4 Zerglings selected, or else Nablime would have gotten 6 Zerglings, because I cannot keep track of them. Alright, we have Nablimes 1 through 4, as well as 2 random unnamed Zerglings who are not the protagonists of the story. Nablime 4, no! Okay, Nablime 4 gets out, back to his friends, and he's like, Nablime! Oh my God, dude. The Nablimes are bravely sacrificing themselves so that their unnamed counterparts can live. They are going to get a gateway, though, and that should cancel this. One of these Zealots. Yeah, one of the Zealots does get canceled, as the Nablimes are going to continue to tear apart the rest of Kalakis' infrastructure. So, yeah, that's the game. Nablimes 1 and 2 are Nablime 2. Nablime 2 falls. We only have Nablime 1. Prime Nablime. Nablime to the power of 0. In existence now. And Kalakis, they could stay into the game. They might. They could luck out. And they could get every single Nablime. And you know what this is? What it is Mr. Dim. They were going into this game. They weren't confident, and they messaged Nablime. They said, Nablime, I'm not sure I can win this game. I don't feel confident against Protoss. And Nablime says, it's fine. I'm gonna let you borrow 4 of my Zerglings. And Mr. Dim was like, are you sure? And Nablime was like, yes, I'm gonna take it. And so that's why Nablime sacrificed 3 of himself, so that Mr. Dim's Zergling, the Zerglings that belong to Mr. Dim, could live. This is a heroic story, except for Kalakis, who definitely it does feel like they just copied an AI build, and that's okay. You have to learn how to play the game starting somewhere. A fire alarm is going off in my house, or a smoke alarm is going off. That's okay though. And yeah, I look forward to seeing Kalakis improve, and that means I am absolutely stop smoking. I am vaping too much. That is what is causing this. I'm hitting those fat darts during the cast. Don't mess with carbon monoxide. Well, we also, well, I hope that's one of our smoke detectors and not the carbon monoxide detector. I am feeling a little woozy. Let's switch back to our splash screen here. Okay. And Dim, with the help of pro player Nablime, is going to take our 3rd game. Can someone explain to me? Okay, so the reason why houses in America need carbon monoxide detectors is because a lot of American houses, especially older ones, they heat their house using gas, like natural gas. And so if there's a break in the natural gas line, the carbon monoxide will leak into the house and then kill everyone in there. And so it's a lot of the older houses are like that. Like, yeah, the nat gas is taken. Jesus Christ. I should probably set up our next day. I keep forgetting this is a StarCraft cast. Holy shit. fair few houses in Australia do that, but they don't seem to have this threat of carbon monoxide, mineral gas imbalance causing deaths out there. That was our last Group 2